So that looks like boxworks in limonite after pyrite to me. This is definitely the kind of stuff that the gold miners would have been looking for. Well, hello YouTubers, prospectors, gold lovers. Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome to very southern, very remote New Mexico. We are out here, not too far from the Mexican border, in southern New Mexico, in an area where there's been a lot of mining in the past. There's a lot of abandoned mines out here. And what I want to do today is look around on some of these piles of waste rock around some of these abandoned mines out here. You can see some piles over here in the bushes. And see if we can find any interesting mineral specimens out here on these piles. You never know what you'll find on mine waste piles. Maybe we'll even get lucky and find a little bit of forgotten gold ore. That would be nice. But maybe we'll find some crystals, some other interesting stuff. So let me wander out here into the bush and see what we can find on these piles. These mines were gold mines, but they also got some copper, some silver, other commodities out of them, tungsten, things like that. They've been abandoned for a long time. And I don't know if it's showing up on the video, but a lot of these rocks on the ground have some green staining on them. Leads me to think a little bit of copper, a little bit of copper mineralization. Got to be careful because out here in the desert, every single thing out here has thorns on it. So, gotta avoid those. Yeah, interesting colors. Somebody dug a pit here. May have been a prospect pit. I think there's a deeper pit over there. All right, so let me start looking around and see if I can see any interesting mineral specimens or crystals out here. So the miners basically threw away everything they weren't looking for, you know? They're looking for gold, looking for silver, whatever. Everything else that they ran across just got thrown out here on these waste rock piles. Oh yeah, here's a pit. Yeah, here's a big old pit in the ground over here. So this was a mine. Let me go over here and see what I can see. This rock is not terribly exciting. Of course, I say that, then I see one I want to pick up and look at. It's got some quartz in it. It's got some druzy quartz. Got some black crystals running through here. Oh, lots of sparkly druzy quartz there. Lots of mineralization in this one. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the quartz crystals in there. The pattern almost looks like teeth in the jaw. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let me keep looking. It's got some sparkly druzy quartz in it. It's got some mineral staining, some iron staining, maybe limonite. Got some black stuff in it. So it's mostly quartz. This is the kind of thing that I think the miners were probably looking for. Iron stained quartz. Oh, look at that. Focus. Look at that. Look at that seam of quartz crystals. Wow, that's cool. That's a cool specimen. I might keep that. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, this pile has some interesting stuff on it. Yeah, some more limonite stained quartz there. Oh, look at this one. This one's got a lot of limonite in it. It's got some boxworks. Yeah. I'm halfway tempted to take this home and crush it and pan out the results and see if there's any gold in it. I'm going to set it right on top of this pile, and maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Yeah, this pile has some interesting stuff in it. See what else I can find. That one's small, but it's got a lot of iron staining there. And then this one here, it's got some vugs in it. And iron staining. And then this black stuff on it. Might be manganese dioxide. Looks like the typical stuff you get out of a gold mine. Hope to find some high-grade ore they missed. That'd be great. Or some more cool crystals. Oh, here's another big pile, and there's a lot more piles after this one. Let's see what we got here. Look at some. Got some pointed black crystals in there. I don't know if they're showing up in the video. Might just be manganese stained quartz, but there's some really pointy black crystals down in that vug. Yeah. This one, that's got a lot of green on it. Probably, I would imagine, some copper staining. Like I said, they were looking for gold and silver, but gold, silver, and copper all have very similar chemistries. Usually, you find them together. Maybe we'll find some malachite or azurite out here. That'd be nice, too. Oh, there's the very rare and hardly ever seen broken beer bottle-lite right there. Yeah, that's a strange mineral. Well, we move on. Okay, let me move on to another pile, see what we can find. This one, lots of iron staining. Oh, look at that. Little patches of bright green in it. That might be malachite. Yeah. We can find some bigger specimens. That'd be nice, because that's pretty tiny. Okay. So this one has some yellow stuff on it. And you know what that looks like to me? That looks like carnotite. Uranium ore. Didn't bring my Geiger counter with me, but that's just what that might be. Quite possibly. I've seen carnotite before, been out to a lot of old uranium mines. That's what that looks like. So, they got a variety of minerals out of these mines out here. Very interesting. It's over here. Big chunk of something here. A lot going on in this rock. Focus. There we go. Yeah. Look at those vugs in the quartz there. Some red iron staining in there. Maybe limonite again. Yep. Just the sort of thing you might expect to find some gold in. Vuggy quartz with iron staining. Yep. Ooh, hey, what am I seeing now? Oh, we were talking about... I was talking about maybe finding some azurite. Look at that. Look at that pretty blue color. Oh, and there's some green. Yeah. Malachite. Azurite. Malachite. Azurite. Nice. Let's see, is there any more of it over here? There's a little piece right here. Got some staining on it. Yeah. There it is. Right there. So there's a couple pieces. I'll look around this pile some more. Good stuff over here. Yep, here's another little piece with lots of malachite on it. A little bit of azurite, maybe around this side. Yep. Nice. Nice. Now, one thing I forgot to mention about this area is the access getting in is pretty easy. I mean, it is a dirt road and it's miles to get in here, but it's a pretty easy dirt road. You don't need high clearance four-wheel drive, even though I own one. It's not needed. But so I expect probably a lot of the really good stuff has been picked already by rockhounds, but maybe we get further back into the wilderness back here. In fact, I see some more piles way over there. Way over there. Maybe we'll get into some better stuff. But yeah, there's some more malachite staining right there. Yeah. Iron stained quartz. Yeah. So yeah, good stuff. Let me look around here a little bit more. There's some more piles over here in front of me. Looks like maybe another pit. And then we'll drive further up the road to those piles I see way over there and see if there's any more good stuff there. Okay, so I've only gone a couple feet and I found this big rock. And it's very dirty. I didn't bring my water bottle with me. I should have. But it looks like it's got lots of green malachite staining on it. It might be an interesting rock once it's cleaned off. I'll take this back to the truck and clean it off after I look at these other piles over here. Here's a little piece with some malachite and some druzy quartz in there. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff on these piles. Let me look over here a little bit. So that looks like boxworks in limonite after pyrite to me. This is definitely the kind of stuff that the gold miners would have been looking for. Yeah. As that pyrite weathered and turned into limonite, it would have released any gold it contained. And there might be a little flecks of gold in here. It might be microscopic, but this might be good gold ore. Maybe I'll throw this in my bucket, take it with me. Another rock with a lot of malachite staining on it. The more I look, the more I find. To wonder whether they got more copper or gold out of these mines. You know, they were probably here for the gold, but, well, copper probably helped pay the bills. Let's see what's over here. That's another one. That's another piece with a lot of limonite after pyrite. Again, might be good gold ore. Hard to say until it's crushed. Yep, there's some more malachite staining right there. And right there. And right there. And right there. Wow, all these rocks down here have some malachite on them. Wow. Yeah, lots of specimens you can collect at old mines. But you know what? I'll bet all the best ones have already been picked up by other rockhounds. So I think I'm gonna head up the road and see what else we can find. Maybe we'll find something even better than what we've been finding here. Okay, I guess you can forget about what I said about not needing a high clearance four-wheel drive. At least not to get to those first piles. The ones I see up on top of this hill, though, yeah, I just put the old beast here into four-wheel drive. I'll see if I can climb up out of this wash and up what's left of this old mining road. That is really steep, steeper even than it looks, and deeply rutted. So let me see if I can get up there. I'm sure I can. I don't think I'll have any trouble. But, you know, if you're out here in your daily driver, low-slung, citified car, I kind of doubt you could make it. Well, I made it. Up on top of this hill, there's all kinds of mining debris scattered around everywhere. Some sort of steel hoop there. just everywhere. And there's a really big pile over there. That's what I could see from a distance. And there's, I don't know if you can see them over there, there's a whole bunch of smaller piles. Looks like maybe a fenced off shaft over there. Off in the distance over here, there's even more stuff. So I'll spend some time looking around here, see what I can see. I'll show you anything interesting I find. Well, let's start over here by this big shaft. It's all fenced off. For safety reasons, I can't really tell how far down it goes from outside the fence. Looks like it's an incline shaft. I can't see the bottom. There's a lot of infrastructure over here. There's wood beams sticking out of the ground. There's a lot of old concrete foundations. I imagine there was a hoist here, probably. Head frame and a hoist, maybe. I imagine that's what this is. So they were probably hoisting ore and waste rock up out of this shaft. And then they just dump the waste rock and then take the ore away to a mill or smelter somewhere. So let me look around and see what kind of rocks we got here. Then I'll climb up the hill and look at that big pile up there and anything else I find along the way. Well, again, we got lots of quartz laying around. Some of it with malachite staining. This got a little bit here. Just looked right down at the base of the fence and saw that. So I'm sure there's a lot more of it. See if we can find any decent specimens. This is a little further off of the highway here and up a much more difficult road. So maybe not so many rock hounds have been up here. That's got some malachite. Okay. Keep looking. Well, here's a big chunk of quartz with a lot of boxworks after pyrite in there and patches of green malachite staining. Lots of iron staining. Yeah. Let me see what's over this way. Then I'm going to hike up the hill. All right, check this out. Pyrite crystals. This green rock, not sure what it is, maybe chlorite, is absolutely covered with little pyrite crystals. And it's not the only one. I see several others down here that look like that. Yeah. See them glittering gold in the sun? That's not gold though, that's pyrite. Your proverbial fool's gold. Kind of cool though. I do hope all that glittering is showing up in the sun. I can see it with my eyes anyway. Not really showing up on the camera viewfinder. Yep, here's another piece. Yeah, it's all over on the side of this hill. Rocks with lots of druzy quartz on them too. It's all glittering in the morning sun. Easy to see. Very cool. Very cool. Looks like we got some more azurite down here. That's very blue. Just a little patch of it on this big rock, along with a lot of druzy quartz. But it caught my eye from the color. There's not much out here that's blue. Lots of green malachite. Lots of red. Every once in a while there's a little bit of blue azurite. And look at the size of the quartz crystals on this rock. It's very dirty. Yeah, there's a lot of big quartz. Maybe I'll wash this one off and decide whether I want to keep it or not. I'll throw it in the bucket for now. I'll wash it off and get back to the truck. Here's another one with some azurite staining on it. A much more manageable size piece. It's nice big quartz crystals along this side. Cool. Wow, just so many rocks with glittery, druzy quartz on them. It just catches my eye here in the morning sun. You know, I gotta look beyond that and see what else we got here. Those boxwork vugs in there. That's interesting. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can even see that glittering on the viewfinder of the camera. That's glittery. Little vein of quartz running right through there. It's got a lot of black staining on that quartz. Probably manganese dioxide. Yeah, dendritic manganese dioxide, I would imagine. You'll never know what you'll find out on these mine dumps. So here's a piece with a lot of malachite on one side of it. It's like just a stain on the surface. I'd like to find something, you know, a little more substantial. That would be a great little specimen to find out here. So let me keep looking. What do we got here? Again, just on the surface, is it? It doesn't look like it goes in. Oh, we got some pyrite crystals in there too. I don't know if you can see those glittering in the sun. Yeah. Or is that pyrite? No, that's chalcopyrite down in here. I see the peacock colors of it. That's chalcopyrite. That's cool. That's a primary copper ore right there, chalcopyrite. It probably weathered to make the malachite and azurite out here. Okay, cool. Well, I'm finding lots of rocks with just some either mostly malachite, sometimes azurite staining on them, but nothing really substantial. Here's another one over here. They're pretty much everywhere if you look close. Maybe the rockhounds have managed to get up here. I mean, these mines closed over 100 years ago, and the roads, well, they're not that bad. All the local people own 4x4 trucks, so, well, maybe it has been picked over. Anyway, I'm going to head up the hill. You can just barely see the top of that big mound up there. I'm going to head up there and have a look around and see what's up there. Well, to be perfectly honest, I am not sure what we've got here. We've got a lot of infrastructure. There's something over there. Need to go have a look at. There's a pit here. Some more infrastructure. A wall, maybe just a retaining wall. Looks like the remains of something else up there. All probably holding up this big pile of, I would assume, is waste rock from a mine somewhere around here. Maybe the one across the road with the deep shaft. I don't know. Anyway, at the base of this pile, there is just an immense amount of quartz. All these big light-colored pieces of rock are quartz. Some of them are stained with malachite. A lot of them, almost all of them, are iron stained. The old gold miners used to say that gold rides an iron horse. They'd look for iron-stained quartz because that's the right geology for the gold to precipitate out of the mineral fluids. So, yeah, a lot of iron-stained quartz here. And I would think they must have been finding something good to dig a pile this big. Well, let me look around and see if I find any interesting specimens. Really, all I'm seeing at the moment is some, well, wait, I don't speak too soon, Michael. Don't speak too soon. That's got a fairly thick layer of malachite on it. Right there. Should have brought my rock hammer with me. I could have busted that off the end of this big rock. I might do that yet. I'll just set that right there for now and keep looking. See if I find anything better. Maybe I'll take that back to the truck and knock that knob off with the hammer and keep the part with the malachite on it. Okay, I think I might have this structure figured out. I'm standing on top of this big waste rock pile. And I think it did come from that shaft over there, which you can just see the other side of my truck all fenced off. And I think what they were doing was they were just dumping the waste rock over here, maybe at the edge of their property, the edge of their claim. And they built this retaining wall here and another one further down to keep it from washing into the creek down here, which probably would have got them in trouble with some environmental agency, or maybe it just would have, they just can't take the stuff off of their claim. I don't know. So that looks like what this is, just retaining walls to keep this big pile of stuff from winding up down in the creek and damming it. So I'm not finding too much up on this pile. This is definitely waste rock. There is very little of interest here. I mean, occasional piece of quartz with some nice druzy stuff on it, but really not too much up here. I was finding more interesting stuff around the base of the pile, which is kind of weird. Maybe the stuff at the base is older, and the stuff at the top, I don't know. Anyway, looks like some bones down here too. Maybe deer. Drug up here by a predator, maybe. Okay, well let me look around the base of this pile some more, because that's where I was finding interesting, or at least semi-interesting stuff. And then we'll go over here and see what's in these piles over here. And if I have the time, because I have to hit the road and do a lot of miles today. I need to be deep into Texas by the end of the day to get home in Florida in time. There is more stuff up that way, higher up the hill. But let me look around here some more and hit those piles at least before I leave. Yeah, as soon as I start hunting around the base of the pile again. Yeah, look at that. More chalcopyrite with malachite. So the chalcopyrite would be the primary copper ore. That's what formed first down in the earth. It's a sulfide, an iron copper sulfide, primary copper ore. And then when the stuff is exposed to moisture and oxygen near the surface, the chalcopyrite breaks down and creates copper carbonates like malachite, which is where that comes from. That's a secondary copper ore. Yeah, look at the chalcopyrite in there. Focus. There's a lot of chalcopyrite in this rock. I would imagine this is what they were mining, chalcopyrite. And they were probably getting a fair amount of gold along the way with it too. But yeah, the chalcopyrite would have been what they were mainly after. But this is a cool specimen. Malachite, chalcopyrite on quartz. That's a cool specimen. I'm definitely going to keep this one. I haven't even cleaned it off yet. It's still dirty. And it's beautiful, even dirty. Okay, I'm back across the road. That big pile I was up on is, you can just barely see it up there at the top of the hill. I'm going to look through these little piles and work my way back to the truck. And maybe we'll have enough time just to go up the road a little bit and have a look at what I see up the road before I got to turn around and start heading for the highway. I am miles and miles of dirt road away from the asphalt. And miles to go before I sleep today, so as the poem goes. So let me take a quick look through these piles. I'll show you anything interesting I find. So I saw this rock glittering in the sun. It's really glittery. I hope that shows up. I look at it a little closer. We got some chalcopyrite in it. Big chunk of quartz. See the peacock colors? As I rotate it, and a little bit of malachite staining next to it where it's weathered. So yep, more chalcopyrite. I'm more and more convinced that's what they were mining out here. Very glittery. A little bit of malachite. All right, let me keep looking. A couple more rocks with some malachite staining on them. Actually, I think it was one rock that split right down the middle. They kind of fit together. I'll throw those in my bucket. That's got some better color than a lot of the pieces I've seen. And small and manageable. A little bit of azurite there. Malachite over here. Quartz everywhere. It's got some pretty heavy copper mineralization staining on it. And yep, more chalcopyrite. Yep, okay. That's another. Oh, and manganese dioxide dendrites. Well, there's a lot going on with this rock. I would say this one's a keeper. Yeah. Into the bucket. I'm almost back to my truck. Let me make a quick run up the road and see what's on those other piles I see up ahead, if anything. All right, I've come up the road some to where I see some more piles, and it looks like some ruins up ahead. And that looks like a covered shaft, a mine shaft. This is BLM land, and the BLM, what they'll do is they'll come out and they'll cover the shafts. That one probably goes straight down, I would imagine, to have all that steel work on it, maybe thousands of feet, to prevent people from falling in and dying. And they'll use grid work like this so bats and other wildlife can still get in and out of the mines, but people can't. So that's what that is. But I see some other stuff up ahead up here, some ruins and some big rock piles. So let me take a quick look around up here and see what we got. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on up here. We got some ruins over there, maybe from a head frame or a big hoist house. We got something over here. I don't know if that was an adit or what. Maybe just a junk pile, who knows. Over here, we've got some kind of big stone structure. And then there's some big rock piles on the other side of it. So I'm going to hike over there and see what there is to see. I'll take my bucket and water bottle with me just in case there's good specimens to collect. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the time to really explore this place thoroughly. I've got to get on the road. It's noon already, and I want to be well into Texas by the time it gets time to stop for the night. So let's take a quick look around here and see what we can see. Yeah, so I'm not sure what we've got here. This might just be a foundation for something. Let me get up to where we can get up on top of it and have a look. Might have been foundation for a head frame or hoist or even a mill, or something else completely different. What is it? Big hole in the ground. Well, I don't know. Cyanide leaching vats were usually round, but maybe they built a square one. Maybe they were cyanide leaching the minerals out of this stuff. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. And then over here, there's a whole lot of waste rock. Doesn't really... Whoa. About fell in a hole just then. There's a lot where I'm putting my feet. Yeah, so there's a lot of waste rock over here. So I'll take a quick look through it, see if we can find anything interesting. I'll show you if I find it. Oh, the ground's all hollow here. Something's been digging. Some critter. Well, speaking of falling in holes, my goodness. That's a pit. The scale of it's probably not coming through on the video, but that is a big and pretty deep hole. I'll see if I can find the video of when I was poking around some mines near Prescott, Arizona. And I poked my head down in one, and there was a bobcat in it. That's okay. He left me alone, I left him alone. But it was an interesting experience. I'll try to find that video and put a link to it in the upper right. So far, no bobcat sightings out here. So, let me keep looking, see if we can find any interesting specimens out here. Well, I am not seeing all that much of interest out here. course, every time I say that, I jinx myself and there's a great specimen right in front of me, but it's not working this time, unfortunately. So, let me head back to the truck. I'll lay out some of the stuff, some of the better stuff I've picked up on this trip so far. Clean it off with the water bottle, and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, there's a lot of debris here, cables, beams, just miscellaneous metal, but not a lot of interesting specimens. That looks like slag. That looks like slag. I wonder if they had a smelter set up in that building or around here somewhere. That looks like slag. Anyway, I'm headed back to the truck. We'll take a look at the specimens I've collected so far. So stay tuned for that. So I'm almost back to my truck, and I just had a thought standing up here on this hill looking off towards the distant interstate highway. That's I-10 way over there, okay? Way to the north. And my interesting thought was, I'll bet the reason I'm not finding spectacular specimens out here is because of how near we are to the highway over there. And the fact that you can get out here without too much trouble if you've got a high clearance vehicle. You might not even need four-wheel drive unless it's been raining. I'll bet rock clubs come out here and collect, and I'll bet they've pretty much picked this area clean. I'll bet you that's what it is. And I'll bet the rock clubs know the even better places out here. Might be worthwhile if you're going to go somewhere to join the local rock club just to get access to their list of places to go collecting, and go with them on their collecting trips. You know, a lot of people might not want to go deep into the desert all by themselves like I do all the time, but you know, go with a group. You know, if you have a flat tire, you know, something like that, there'll be other people to help you. You can't get lost, that sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to lay these specimens out and we'll take a good look at them after I wash them off. Alright, so here's the best of the specimens I collected. A lot of malachite in that. This one seems to have a seam of malachite through it. I may take that home and cut it. This one I like because it's got both blue azurite and green malachite in it. And it's on red stained quartz, which I just like the color combination. I think that's really pretty. I hope the colors are coming through. Got some more heavily stained malachite on red quartz here. That's got a pretty thick layer of malachite on it. Over here, we've got the specimens that have lots of chalcopyrite in them, if it'll focus. There we go. See the chalcopyrite in there? Along with the malachite and a little azurite too. Here's another one with lots of a little chalcopyrite in it. I wouldn't say a lot. Although it's a very heavy rock. If I were to break it open, it might be almost solid chalcopyrite inside, because it's very heavy for its size. Here's another one. See the chalcopyrite in there? Then you got azurite and malachite on the surface. And then there's these rocks, which I'm assuming are chlorite. And I think that's a mixture, now that I look at it a little closer after washing these rocks off, I think that's a mixture of pyrite and chalcopyrite on the surface that we got there. Pretty big flat-faced pyrite crystal right there. If I get the sun just right, it should glint on it. I'm not having any luck. I see it with my eye, but it's not showing up on camera. So I think these are all pretty good specimens. These are keepers. I'm taking them home. I've got a few lesser ones in the bag over here too. And also on the way back to the truck, look what I found. The neck of a very old glass bottle. It's been out here in the desert long enough that the UV light from the sun has turned the glass purple. Too bad I couldn't find the whole bottle. That would have been cool. But that's a nice little find too. So I had a lot of fun out here looking at this old mining infrastructure and collecting specimens. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I need to come back here again. the next time I'm driving through this part of New Mexico. I need to come back here again and do some more exploring. And like, I'd take my own advice maybe and join one of the local rock clubs and find out where they go to collect the really good stuff. Or maybe I just need to go further out into the desert, further off of the main highway, you know, where you really need the four-wheel drive. And then maybe find some good stuff in the mines out there. Now that I've got all my samples here, including some that might just contain gold ore, I'm ready to hit the road and head back to Florida. So, when I get back to Florida, we're going to crush up these samples that I think might have gold in them. We're going to pan it out and see what we got. So, let's hit the road. Okay, I am back home. Boy, that is a long drive. This is a big country. And I'll tell you what, bad cheap motel mattresses and 4 days in the driver's seat did not do my back any favors. My back is killing me. But I got my mineral specimens here. I got my cool mineral specimens over here. But the stars of the show, as far as I'm concerned, is this stuff over here. This stuff looks like possibly good gold ore. Plus the dust in the bag I had all this stuff in. So I think in a future video when my back's feeling a little bit better, what we're going to do is we're going to crush this stuff with my mighty mill and we're going to pan out the results and see if we get any gold out of it. And a few of these samples might wind up going that route too. There's a lot of them here with chalcopyrite in them. So this one is just very heavy, very, very heavy. There's a lot of mineralization in this one. So one or two of these I might add to my pile to crush up. And we'll pan it all out and see what we got. Because I got a feeling I'm going to be taking that route again in the future. And, well, I can always divert out there and get more of this stuff if it contains any significant amount of gold. So anyway, subscribe to see the future video where I process this stuff and maybe a few of these. And if you like this video at all, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you in future videos. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.